Welcome to Owning It. We are filming our fourth interview today with Staci Walters, a legacy tenured leader at Sparks. She's a senior account director based out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, close to headquarters. And we thought Staci would be a perfect person to talk about relationships and their impact on her day-to-day. So welcome, Staci.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so exciting.
It absolutely is. And I can't wait to hear your stories. I've heard great things about you from so many people. And the reason that we're focusing on relationships is that in our last issue, we talked about job crafting. And the idea of job crafting was, how do you organize tasks in your day that give you energy, or organize your week so that you can have, feel really a deeper connection and meaning to your work? And interestingly enough, interactions with others was one of the three things that really bring the most meaning to people at work. So I'd love if you could share an example about how when you interact with others, it gives you more job satisfaction, and even how you've been able to incorporate those interactions and being with other people into your day-to-day.
Sure. So as I'm taking on more responsibility here at Sparks on a day-to-day basis, I really enjoy my weekly status meetings with the team. I used to have weekly one-on-ones, but it didn't really allow for a successful use of the time to see the big picture. And I felt that it was a lot of things that we talked about were beneficial for other team members. So I broke the team up into 3 separate meetings, and this is where I can work with them more on a strategic approach. And it allows us to see the status and the progress of the projects. Having 14 account managers on the team, I can't always be on every call, every email, and I'm not able to micromanage them, which I think they really appreciate. But this is the time where I can make sure we're on track, where we might be a little behind, where we may have hit a roadblock, and it allows me to help the team get back on track. And having this done every week, I feel like it allows us to have a great relationship and trust and work together as a team. And as we go through these weekly status meetings, it really makes me proud of the hardworking, dedicated team that surrounds me. When they succeed, I succeed, and I truly believe that. It really does take a village, and the end result is amazing because we pump out some amazing projects.
Oh my gosh, Staci, I wish I had that advice when I was a first-time manager. I had 13 people, and to your point, it's so overwhelming. You don't want to reschedule people's one-on-ones because you feel horrible about it. You want that time, but that group dynamic of seeing the big picture, and it's contagious, the spirit of cheering each other on. So I love that. And I also really believe in rituals. And I think that's what you've created. And that helps also people feel secure and, really helps them bring out their best. So I love that.
Yeah.
Well, then the next question I have for you. So you've had a variety of relationships, probably worked with tons of people at your time with Sparks before that. And this one study that came out during the pandemic that really fascinated me talked about how relationships can build our resilience. And so we find ourselves having different types of relationships with people at work. Sometimes they call it like our work spouse, or we have a mentor, we are, a mentee, and they all benefit us in different ways. Even if it's just somebody that, makes you laugh. So you're having one of those tough days, that's the person I can call that has that sharp sense of humor and get me back on track. So I would love to know your thoughts on how any relationships you've built or the network that you have, if you feel like it's helped build your resilience. It's been a challenging time and everybody's still trying to figure out. You are a working mom with 2 sons. I didn't say that up front, but you've got a demanding personal life and work life, 14 people working for you.
Very true.
Tell me about how, any relationship examples that helped with your resilience.
That's a really great question because I work with some amazing women at Sparks. One of my most important relationships is with my VP of Strategic Accounts, Carol Swain. And yes, we have joked that we are each other's work spouse because we spend so much time together. But she truly has been a huge mentor for me. And it is so important to surround yourself with people that you respect and trust. I learn from her every day, which really helps me to pass those learnings on to my team. I am so fortunate to work with some other amazing women that help me grow as a person. I have my women that I can reach out to for the good laugh. I have the women that I can reach out to help solve a challenge. We've really come together as a great team at Sparks. During the pandemic, Sparks really pivoted to come up with some solutions to help our clients stay focused. We all really came together with the same common goal. But it was really hard also to see some of those amazing women placed on furlough or moved to new jobs, both at Sparks and on our client side. And not being able to interact with them each day really hits on a personal level.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, even called survivor's guilt too,
Yeah.
right? Of just, watching things impact your friends or colleagues and coworkers in different ways. When you build, it's so important to build those
Yeah.
relationships, but you're affected by it. And so that's why that study really inspired me, because it just talked about leaning on those relationships can build your resilience. You don't always have to go through like a really difficult time to build the resilience skills. So, Staci, tell us more about a relationship that you leaned on at work, how it's been instrumental in both your personal and professional life, and really any tips, advice that you have to other women that are looking to build a similar relationship at work.
So I actually have a very strong relationship, both professionally and personally, with my VP of Strategic Accounts, Carol Swain. As I mentioned earlier, my work spouse. I've been lucky enough to work with her for 15 of the 17 years I have been at Sparks. The consistency of having her as my mentor has allowed us both to grow professionally. My relationship with Carol is a bit unique. There's some areas where I excel, other areas where she excels. But when we really bring them together, we complement each other and succeed in our roles at Sparks and with the team. One of the things she pushes me a lot to do is to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Think about that for a second. Being comfortable, being uncomfortable. For example, being chosen to speak with you today, I have had to make sure I was comfortable being uncomfortable in this situation. What that means also is in our professional lives as well, we have to be comfortable having difficult conversations with our clients. We have that also in our personal life, difficult conversations with family, but it's just being comfortable with yourself to have those conversations. So my advice to other women is to find your person. Find your Carol. You can't have mine, but find your Carol, that person that helps you to be the best version of yourself. It makes coming into work each day so much more fun, exciting, and challenging, and makes it all worth it.
Oh my gosh, I love that story so much. I love that advice so much. And I really do think that most of us are like that analogy about how ducks look so graceful and they're swimming, but their
Yes.
feet are like going like this into the water. Like, nobody knows what really freaks each of us out. And that when you have someone that you trust that's cheering you on, saying, come on, just try this. You're going to feel so good, once you get through it. Or, this is a difficult conversation you have to have, but it'll stretch you as a leader. It has to get done. Somebody has to do it. It builds trust. So I love that. I love that advice. And I think in wrapping up, this is a new era for women supporting women, and that's really what the Women in Experiential movement is about, and sharing stories like yours. And I love that you highlighted also, Carol's impact on your life, and I hope that we can replicate that across Sparks, across all gender identities, but particularly let's strengthen our female colleague relationships so that we can all feel bold enough to go after what we want and deserve. So thanks so much, Staci, for being with me today and sharing your story.
Thank you so much.